Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Headbanger's Closet. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. I got a story for you guys today. It's a story that I'm embarrassed of. It's a story I'm ashamed of. So why not share it with you guys? I'm sure all of you have a similar story, a similar time in your life where dignity went out the window. You look back on it now and you're like, God, how could I be so stupid? How could I have done that? How could I have made that decision? Something you're just ashamed and embarrassed over. And this is one of those stories. This is the story of the day I lost my heavy metal fame card. So I'm going to tell you guys the story, kind of what led up to it, the story about it, and then show you guys the items in my collection that kind of pertain to that event. So the year was 2008. Metallica had announced they were going to play Bonnaroo in Manchester, Tennessee, not 4 hours from where I live. Of course I was going to go. Metallica's been my favorite band since '87. Up until that point, I had seen them like 50 or 60 times practically. I'm up to now, I think like 70, 71 shows. But around that time, I was like in the 50s, maybe low 60s. So, of course I was going to see them. My favorite band. I'm not a Bonnaroo kind of guy. That's not really my scene. Those type of bands, that kind of like environment. But, of course, I'm going to see Metallica. So I asked my good buddy Terry. I was like, hey man, you want to go see Metallica Bonnaroo? He's like, yup. So we bought tickets. Here's the ticket. For some reason I wrote Metallica and then the date of the show on there. Not that it's not on the back of this ticket, but whatever. I did it. So anyway, the place where Bonnaroo is called Manchester, Tennessee. It's a really, really small town, about an hour, a little more than an hour south of Nashville. So it was actually closer to where I lived than Nashville was. But I've been talking to this girl for a little while that lived in Nashville. I wanted to kind of like make this a long weekend where I got to spend some time with her and then go down to the show and see Metallica. So we made the plans. I got with her, made the plans to come up and spend the night in Nashville. She was going to show me, my buddy, downtown Nashville, all the touristy spots. We're going to have a great time. So we hop in the car that morning and we go. And of course, you got to pass Manchester, Tennessee to get to Nashville. Manchester, if you've been there, if you've seen it, if you've been to Bonnaroo, you'll know. It's a really, really small town. There's only, I think, one exit from Manchester. So you've got hundreds of thousands of fans at this festival. It's in this huge farm, like fields as far as you can see, like multiple fields. So the State Patrol, what they were doing was when you get to Manchester, as you pass the original exit going north, every like half mile, quarter of a mile, there would be an exit that they made. You just pull off the interstate and right through a little bit of trees and you're into the field. Just go and park right on the field. So they were just getting people off that road as fast as possible because it was a huge traffic jam. As we went through on Thursday morning, wasn't a whole lot of people on the road. Folks had already got there the night before, and it was fairly early in the morning, so more cars were expected after us. But we could see RVs with flags as far as you could see, tents, cars, people walking around drinking, grilling out. It looked like a blast, and we're like, dude, it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to get here tomorrow. But I was really excited to get to Tennessee, spend some time with my girl, and see the sights and hang out for the night. So we get there. It's like maybe mid-afternoon. Start pre-party, drinking in her apartment. Like I said, really excited to see her. I was super into her. The type of relationship where you think it's going to last really, really long time type of like, relationship. So I was really excited to see her. And, she's telling us what we were going to do that night. She was going to take us out, me and my buddy and another friend of ours, take us downtown Nashville, go out to dinner, and then take us, to all the bars on that main road, Broadway. So we got to dinner, and I get a text from my buddy, and he's texting me. He's like, hey, man, have you been on the Met Club forums today? And I was like, nah, man, it's been a couple of days since I've been on them. He's like, well, there's rumors that Metallica's in Nashville. And I was like, yeah, wouldn't doubt it. They're not going to stay in Manchester, Tennessee, so wouldn't doubt they're in Nashville for the night. Probably going to spend the whole weekend here. Finish dinner, go out downtown, we're drinking. He texts me again, maybe like an hour later, and goes, hey, man, I think they're really in town. There's rumors of them, having some kind of gig or a meet and greet or something. I was like, well, that sounds pretty cool. I don't think they're going to do a gig, though. I can see maybe a meet and greet or something, maybe a fan club contest winner, but I hadn't heard anything about that. I didn't enter anything, so I was like, let me know more and text me later. So we're hanging out, having a good time. I'm enjoying spending time with this girl. My buddy's having a good time. Just great night all around. Now it's about 10:30 at night, and he's like, yes, they're playing a show at a place called The Basement. So I asked this girl, I'm like, where's this place called The Basement? And she's like, well, I don't really know. There's a record store that has a basement in it that sometimes some small local bands play, but that can't be it. Metallica wouldn't play there. It's too small. You only fit like 50 people in there. So we're searching. This is before smartphone. So I'm on a Motorola Razr trying to search the internet for this thing, and I'm not finding any place called The Basement in Nashville, Tennessee. So she's like, well, we can go there if you want and kind of see. I'm like, I don't think it's really a thing. Let's just stay here and hang out. Metal fan rule number one, broken right there. There was more to come that night, but so I kind of chose to stay with her, and we had a fun night. Wake up the next morning, and she brings us back to another friend's apartment. We get in the car, and we head down to Manchester, Tennessee for Bonnaroo. We get there, set up our tent, get everything ready to go, and go check out the festival grounds. Drinking, walking around, having a good time, eating, just checking out the sights and sounds of Bonnaroo. About time to get into the little area there where Metallica's going to play in front of the stage. We walk up. The Raconteurs is getting done playing, Jack White's band. So we get down there. We're about 15 feet, 20 feet from this railing. And there's fans inside that railing. And I thought maybe they were like contest winners. I really didn't know how to get in there. Looking as far as you could see, I couldn't see an entrance to that. So like, you know what? We're dead center stage, probably about 50 to 60 yards from the stage. The sound booth is behind us. It's going to be a great show. We're in perfect sound for the show. Let's just stay here. So we stayed there. Chris Rock comes and does a comedy show. Lars and Kirk introduce him. Then he returns the favor, although he kind of ruined Ecstasy of Gold, in my opinion. The best part of the Ecstasy of Gold intro, he comes out and introduces Metallica. It was still kind of cool. They come out, play a blistering set. They look great playing. They sound amazing. Awesome set list. Here's the CD I picked up on livemetallica.com. It's like $15. You get the CD. I like to print out my artwork and burn the CD and kind of make my own CD set. So, but check out this set list. Phenomenal set list. They come out, open up with Creeping Death, which in my opinion is probably my second all-time favorite opener next to Bread Fan. But they come out, Creeping Death, Into Bells, Kirk does a little solo, Ride the Lightning, Harvester of Sorrow, The Unforgiven, Injustice for All, No Remorse, Memory Remains, which crowd went bananas singing that part. Fade to Black. Puppets, Whiplash, another Kirk solo, Nothing Else Matters, Sad But True 1, Enter Sandman, Last Caress, So What, and then they end with Seek and Destroy. Phenomenal set list. It had been since 2004 that I'd seen him last on the Saint Anger, Madly in Anger with the World Tour. So it was 4 years. There were songs I had heard before, but hadn't heard them play in a long time. Ride the Lightning, Harvester of Sorrow, Last Caress, No Remorse, and So What were the 5 I can recall right off the bat. And, 6, Unforgiven as well. Sounded great. Just having those songs included in the set list was phenomenal. But the number one moment was them playing Injustice for All. I had never heard that song before up until this point. It was phenomenal. The show was great. The crowd went nuts. And you could tell right off the bat when they got off stage that most everybody there was just to see them. There was a mass exodus to the exit, which led to this road that went to the parking areas. Kanye West was about to play on that stage next. There were thousands of people who just didn't give a shit. They were just leaving. And it was around that time that we started hearing that, yes, there was a secret gig, warm-up gig that night before. Very limited in capacity. So if I had went, at the time, we kind of figured out where it might have been. I probably wouldn't have got in anyway. They would have denied me entrance. But I started feeling really guilty, like, shit. So we get back to the car. I text my buddy, and he's at home asleep. Next morning, I get up. First thing I do is I said, call me as soon as you get up. He calls me. I'm like, dude, Metallica really did play, and I was spent the night with this girl. So I had to go and find me. He goes, dude, you just turn in your main card, turn in your metal card right now is what he said. And then, we laughed. I told him all about the Bonnaroo set, but he's right. I had to turn in my metal card at that point because I chose a girl over Metallica, a girl who did end up ditching me not too long after that, so whatever. But anyway, That show was at Grimey's record store in the basement where she thought it was but didn't think Metallica would actually be there. That's where it actually was. So here's the CD of that event with the set list. Pretty cool CD right there, little Volturus guy, orange Metallica logo. Pretty cool set list. Wasn't a very big one. Wasn't a very long show, rather. No Remorse, Fuel, Harvester of Sorrow, Sanitarium, Bells. Then they do Afraid Ends of Sanity Jam, which sounds awesome. Then Puppet, Sabbath True, Motor Breath, and Seek and Destroy. And if you've heard this before, you can hear people talking between songs. They're talking to James and the guys in the band. That's how intimate a setting this was. That's how very few people actually got in. Really, really cool if you've heard it before. So, but my favorite items revolving around this are the 10-inch 2-record set gatefold albums I picked up. And these are on Warner Brothers Records. So, 2-record set. They're the same, so I'm just going to show you the one. Black vinyl right there. Pretty cool. You can find the black vinyl on eBay, Discogs. It's not too rare. I don't think they pressed tons of them, but you can still pick it up for a relatively cheaper price. It's not too hefty of a price tag. But this one kind of is. This one is a little bit rarer. It's the exact same thing, only it is clear vinyl. And I got to thank my good buddy Jack. Thanks, Jack, for hooking me up with this one. Really appreciate that, buddy. Normally, I'm not a huge fan of clear vinyl, but this one looks pretty badass. So, when he told me he had that one and he wanted to unload it, of course I wanted it. And I think it's a really badass addition to my collection. So, that is the story about Bonnaroo and Grimey's basement secret show, and the day I chose a girl over Metallica and was a giant asshole and lost my heavy metal fan card. So, if you guys ever done something that stupid, leave me a comment down below. If you heard anything on the Bonnaroo show or the Grimey show, any of the songs, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about it. Hit that like, subscribe. Go find me on Instagram, Headbangers Closet. And feel free to also leave me a comment down below and tell me what a dumbass I was. It'll help me learn my lesson, guys. So, appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, guys. Cheers.